So it is time. So we would like to begin sharing the consolidated business results for fiscal year 2014 third quarter. I would like to introduce who is present here today. CFO Koji Yanagisawa. And Managing Director Saito Go. So those two will be sharing the results with you today. We will finish today around 6 p.m. We would like to first begin with the CFO Koji Yanagisawa. Good afternoon. Thank you for coming today. The weather is not so great, but we are glad that you are here with us. We have made available special ice cookies. So please eat those cookies. Enjoy those cookies while you listen to our consolidated business results. If we could begin right away. What you will see on the screen is a simplified version of the consolidated business results. It will just go over the key indicators. So if we can begin. First of all, the third quarter transaction value was 92.1 billion yen, which is a 13.5% year-on-year increase. And the operating profit was 10.6 billion, which is a 23.3% increase year-on-year. So we haven't disclosed the target for the third quarter, but in terms of transaction value, it is less than our non-disclosed target, but operating profit is higher than our target. This is the transaction value, the composition, and also the shift changes. So we plan to do 132.4 billion yen. And we have accomplished so far 71% of this target. Last fiscal year, same period, was 70%. So although we did say that it's less, the transaction value is less than our non-disclosed target, we are doing better than the previous year, same quarter. In terms of the breakdown, the mall business is for ZOZOTOWN, that was 79.3 billion, which is a 13% increase year-on-year. And EC Consulting was 12.7 billion yen, which is a 16.6% increase year-on-year. And the breakdown of the mall business. Purchase stock business. We have mentioned this. So this is our buyers will purchase these items and sell it on our website. It's like a select shop that we are organizing. And we have mentioned that we are intentionally shifting away from this purchase stock business to avoid having inventory risk. So this resulted in 490 million yen. So it's an 89.2% decrease year-on-year. So it is a significant decrease compared to the previous year. The main business for the purchase stock is a used clothing business. This was 2.97 billion, nearly 3 billion, which is a 95.9% increase year-on-year. So the used business is doing very well. And our main business, consignment sales, was 75.9 billion yen, which was an 18.4% increase year-on-year. So this quarter, we did a 12% growth in average. August, the second quarter. In August, we did fairly well. So we had a great inventory, and the sales period did well as well. But in terms of December, the last bit of third quarter, a lot of the brands conducted their sales a little bit earlier. So there was a lot of pre-sales, and that did very well. And another factor, the fall-winter, we had a lot of pre-order items as well. So this pre-order business did well in December as well. So the pre-sales and pre-order business did very well in the fall and winter. So this is the transaction value for the third quarter. So it's a 14.2% increase in year-on-year. So although I did mention that it's a little bit short of our initial targets, but if you just look at the third quarter, we did pretty well for the third quarter due to the factors I introduced earlier. And so we generally believe that our native growth of our business is 12%, but we did 14.2% this quarter. And this is the increase-decrease analysis of the operating profit. So we did the 8.6 billion in operating profit. So that's the fiscal year 2013 third quarter was 8.6 billion. So we did the profit increase by transaction value by 3.1 billion. And the gross margin ratio also improved as well because we are doing more consignment sales, so that's improving the gross margin. But due to more volume, we actually have more SG&A as well. More variable costs, and also we have more costs due to the new logistical facilities that we opened last year. So that was 0.5 billion yen higher than before. And in terms of the promotion costs, we didn't hardly have any promotion this year, so that's 0.6 billion yen plus. So we resulted with operating profit of 10.6 billion yen. So if we just look at the operating profit, we control the promotion. We did allocate some promotion costs. However, for the third quarter, we hardly had any promotions, so that has contributed to a better operating profit. In terms of the number of total buyers, so we have 3.5 million buyers. So we actually divided between guest buyers and active members. We had 1.3 million guest buyers and 2.3 million active members. So it may appear as though the number of guest buyers is decreasing compared to the previous quarter. But this is because in July we absorbed Labu. This is for the women's website, young teens website that we had. We closed it and absorbed it back into. So the users on Labu are no longer active. That's why it appears as though we have less guest buyers. But if you just look at the ZOZOTOWN, the growth hasn't slowed. So we're not worried about these results. So it's just temporarily because we don't have buyers from Labu. That is the main effect that you see here. So although we haven't done any promotions for ZOZOTOWN, we have managed to get more users, more buyers, so we're not worried.
続きまして、モール出店ショップの
A number of shops in the mall
第3
business.
クォーター終わった時点ではですね、
At the end of third quarter, we have 685 shops.
内訳ですけれども、買い取りのショップが23
And we have 23 purchase stock and 620 or so consignment sales. So we have done very well in terms of the number of shops. The key shops that joined us, Himiko shoe brand or United Arrows and Sons, which is part of the United Arrows, and Timberland, and T by Alexander Wang. These are some of the new brands that have joined us. As you will see, the purchase stock business, the shop number has gone from 17 to 23, but we actually had ZOZO Villa, which was a different mall than ZOZOTOWN. We actually absorbed ZOZO Villa into ZOZOTOWN. So select shops, for example, designers, the shops that were in the designers section of ZOZO Villa, they have joined ZOZOTOWN as different shops. So one select shop, we divided that up into 7 shops. So that's why you will see a increase in the number of purchase stock shops, but it's actually not actual increase.
続きまして、年間購入者
And then the annual purchase
年間購入金額です。
annual purchase amount.
第3クォーター終わった時点の
As of the end of third quarter,
43,214円。
the annual purchase amount was 43,214, and on average they purchased 7.6 pieces. So this is a 0.6% increase compared to the previous quarter. And we have seen that more active users are becoming making more purchases. So this is the reason why this has these figures have improved. And as you can see, the number of items purchased is growing as well. So we hope to continue to do the same. And also the average purchase amount per shipment and average retail price. The average purchase amount per shipment was 12,126 yen. Average retail price was 6,790. The average purchase amount per shipment is 2.1% lower than the lower year on year, but this is stopped decreasing as rapidly as it used to. In the first quarter, it was a 4% decrease. Second quarter, it was 3.7% decrease, and in the third quarter, it's 2.1% decrease. So this has started to slow down. We believe that the number one factor is because we've actually started charging users for some of the purchases. So people who purchase more than 3,000 yen get free shipping, but people who have made purchases that are lower than 3,000 yen will have to pay for shipping. So that is why these figures are starting to change. And third quarter is mainly fall-winter items. So of course that is also contributing to the better numbers here as well. And in terms of the decrease in average retail price, it's a 4.2% decrease compared to year on year. One of the main factors why this has decreased so much for this quarter is because we had a lot of sales items. As I mentioned earlier, a lot of brands did pre-sales. They were quite aggressively doing pre-sales, so that's So there were more items available at a discount, and that has affected the decrease in average retail price. The previous year, same quarter, was 19.7%, but this quarter it was 24%. So there has been a change of around 4%, so 4% more products have been sold at a discount this quarter. And in terms of number of shipments, we did 2.6 million, which is a 17.1% increase. So this is growing steadily. And we have sufficient capacity to manage these shipments as well. So. And this is the shift in figures in terms of devices. Smartphone sales have continued to increase. Now it's nearly 58%. And in terms of PCs, it's come down to 40.8%, so it's gradually come down. And feature phones, it's only nearly 1.4%, 1% or so. And in terms of unique users, this is per shipping. So 71% of percent, and tablet is 5% of, if you look at these figures in terms of unique users. These are the results from the third quarters for this fiscal year, and from now on, I would like to introduce some of the key topics for this year. Some of the promotions or activities that we did in the third quarter. So we celebrated our 10th anniversary last year in December 15. So that was our 10th anniversary. So we had various activities. So in December 4th, December 15th, when we first opened, as ZOZOTOWN indicates, we thought of it as a town, and we started with 25 shops. And we renewed the shop, or the website. This year, the user interface is not so different, but it's more user-friendly. So in comparison to the original website that we had in 2004, it's far easier to use, so it's more convenient. And also we absorbed ZOZOVILA into ZOZOTOWN, as I mentioned earlier. So that's another thing that we did. And we also added new services like the recommendation or services. And I think maybe some of you may have used, but we've started the gift wrapping service as well. So currently, gift wrapping, we can only do so much per day. But people who have opted to use this service will get a message card and a photograph together with the item that they purchased for their friends and family. And also we've started selling fashion magazines. So people can buy not only clothes, but also magazines that they're interested in. And we've also started issuing magazine news. If you look at the upper right-hand corner, it says that we have started selling fashion magazines and issuing fashion news. So some of the topics on fashion magazines we introduced on the website. So this is due to the company Yappa that we bought last year. So we're using their resources and technology to do that. And also because it's a 10-year anniversary, we created a new movie that you saw earlier. So we launched this in December, so it's a little bit Christmassy. But these illustrations were done by Tekken, a comedian. And the music is from John Lennon and Yoko Ono's Happy Christmas. And then this has been performed by a band called High Standard. So far, it has already been watched by 500,000 users. I'm not sure if you know this. I think people who have made purchases know. We changed the packaging. Usually you get deliveries from the black box. That's our original, or that's our usual box. Until now, we did the normal cardboard boxes, but now we've changed it to black, our corporate color cardboard box with our logo on the side. In the beginning, we had black cardboard boxes with our logo in the very, very beginning when we started. Then we switched over to normal cardboard boxes, but then because we are celebrating our 10th year anniversary, we changed back to our black boxes. And also, just for a limited period of time, from end of December to beginning of January, users were able to choose this white box as well. This has War is Over If You Want It. It's like the movie that you have seen. We created these unique boxes that were available for a limited period of time. And also, another project that we launched to celebrate our 10th year anniversary is, we call it the Price of Dreams. We work together with the lifestyle magazine Brutus, and we're selling very rare products. So we're having food events and also products that people can only buy on this website. You can also read about it on the Brutus issue that's released on January 13th. Some of the rare products, we have 57 items available, but we have olive trees that are 100 years old, which is being sold for a very, very high price, or a hot air balloon that you can ride and take pictures of the Earth from a very high altitude. Also stools from the National Stadium that's being rebuilt, so that's actually already sold out. But we've called it the Price of Dreams, and selling very rare, very creative products. Please take a look. If you want, please buy the 100-year olive tree. So those are some of the activities that we've launched to celebrate our 10-year anniversary. In terms of where, in October, as of October, we have 4 million downloads. We have more than 2 million coordinate pictures, styling pictures. And when we renewed the ZOZOTOWN website, we actually absorbed ZOZO People and ZOZO Navi into Where, and also added the blog function. So all the SNS services that we used to do, we actually integrated it all into Where. And in January, as you may have heard, we've actually launched a Where service in China. So we just started in China, but we would like to continue to make this available in more countries and regions. Now we are available in 26 countries and regions. And about monetization of this service, in terms of Where, we will continue to concentrate on enhancing the value of Where as a medium, and to make it widely available and widely used. So that's where we're focusing on for where. So these are some of the topics for the third quarter. And from here forward, I would like to talk about the business plan, which really hasn't changed since what we've actually been talking about in previous quarters. And the stewardship code and corporate governance code has been a topic in Japan. We would like to talk about this in terms of what it means for our company. Of course, as a company, we believe that sustainable growth and improving the corporate value is important, and this is something that we would like to concentrate on as well. And also, we would like to practice fair disclosure. Not only just to investors and financial institutions, but also individual investors as well, so that we can understand each other and also share information. We believe that we have done this from before quite actively, but we hope to continue to do so and have your feedback and make any improvements if necessary. We are working on the details in terms of the stewardship and corporate governance codes for our company. So once it is ready, we will be disclosing it. So that is it from myself.